Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jess. If you are not, welcome back. If you are new, I would love for you to go down there and click that big red subscribe button. I have a hard time saying that every time. But anyway, click the big red subscribe button down below. I would love for you to join my YouTube family here and I would really appreciate it. I do have 2 full-time jobs, not at the moment because of COVID, but it would be nice to get a little bit of love and appreciation here just because I do pay for everything myself and nothing is obviously sponsored. But anyway, for today's video, I know this is by no means new. I mean, it is fairly new. It did come out a couple weeks ago, but it took me quite a while to get my hands on this bad boy, the Natasha Denona Bronze Palette, just because I wasn't sure if I wanted to review it. I do have quite a few other Natasha Denona palettes. I definitely don't have her whole line, but I do have quite a few, and I felt like this was a little bit kind of repetitive, not in the sense that Natasha Denona has repeated these shades, but I do have a lot of palettes that are similar, but I decided to get it and give it a shot, so that is why my review is a little bit late, so I do apologize. I did not pick up the face palette just because I didn't really feel like I would get along with some of those shades, plus I've heard kind of like hit and misses throughout the beauty community. And then she did also come out with 3 lip glosses with this launch. I only picked up 2 in the shades Caramel and Tan Nude. So these are the shades there. As you can see, they've both got a little bit of sparkle in them. Here are the lip glosses swatched. Sorry, I'm gonna go this way. This one here is Caramel, which is the darker of the 2, and then you have Tan Nude on this side. So a little bit of information about this collection. The lip glosses retail for $26 and the eyeshadow is smaller than her other palettes. So this one retails for $65, so you are getting about half of the product that you would with her normal palettes. So this is the same size as the Love palette and the Sunset palette. I really prefer this size just because I personally won't go through like those larger pans, and I just prefer this price tag, to be honest, than the $120 or $130, I believe is what they are. But either way, I'm going to do some swatches for you guys. So here are all of the shades swatched. They swatch really, really nicely, although I feel like some of these shimmers are a little close to each other, so I feel like they might look the same on the eyes, but I'm going to put that to the test. So now that I've kind of gone over pricing and swatches and things like that, I'm going to zoom you guys in and get started on the eye look. Alright, so I've got you guys nice and close right now. I think what I want to do is start off with the shade Sundown, which is this one right here. And I'm going to take this on a really big fluffy brush. This is the Morphe E27. And I'm going to throw this in the crease. Oh, I'm actually going to tap out my eyelids just because my eyelids started to crease a little bit. I do just have concealer down, and I did set it with a little bit of powder. Alright guys, sorry, my camera battery died. So the second shade I want to go in with is the Suntan, which is the one right next to Sundown. I'm going to take this on my Morphe M503, which is slightly more dense. And I'm going to pop this right in the crease, just below that first shade, just to kind of deepen that up. So as you guys can see, there's just a little bit of kick up in the pan, but not too much. Again, I don't really mind that just because I tap off my brush. So if you do mind, just, keep that in mind, do your eyes first. I am going to take this shade down here, which is the lightest shade in the palette, called Beach, on like that first brush, so really fluffy brush. And I'm going to just use that to kind of blend these 2 edges together. It's definitely showing up more peachy than it looks in the pan. It is definitely more pigmented than I thought, so go in with a very light hand with that color. And then I think what I want to do is kind of layer some of the glitter shades on the lid. I am going to start with the shade, let's go with True Copper, which is this one right here. And I am going to put this on the very outer corner. I am going to be using the Alamar flat brush. I don't know what this brush is called. I don't think there's a name on it, but it's just like this flat shader brush here. And I'm going to use it to place True Copper on the outer corner of the eye. It's not performing terribly with the brush, but I'm sure you could get more pigmentation if you wanted to wet the brush or use your finger. Now that I've got that color down, I think I want to go in with, I'm going to try the shade Silk, which is this one right here, and put that in the center of the eye. I'm going to take that same Alamar Cosmetics brush and just flip it and use the opposite side. And I'm going to put this right in the center. Oh wow, that is so pretty, even with the brush. Really, really nice. Again, on the eye, you can't really tell the difference between the two. I use my finger just to kind of blend them together. This is definitely slightly chunkier than the previous shade, True Copper. Yeah, so once they're on the eye, it's pretty hard to tell the difference. I think the color of the reflect might be like what's making it a little bit different, but other than that, you can't really tell. I'm gonna go back in with True Copper. Yeah, True Copper is a little bit more like on the peachy side, and Silk is more on like the gold side. Again, I'm just flipping the brush back and forth. And then for the inner corner, I'm going to use my eye, and I'm going to use my finger, and I think I want to go with the shade Alloy, which is this center shade right here. And I'm going to stick this on the inner part of the eye using my finger. This is definitely way more gold, like a yellow gold. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it is definitely more of a yellow gold. I think this one is the one where you can kind of tell the difference between at least the middle one, which was Silk, and this one, which is Alloy. And then I think what I'm going to do is go in with my finger with Silk and just kind of intensify each shimmer, and kind of going back between my fingers to kind of blend them together. And then for True Copper, I'm going to go in with my index finger, which was the outer shade that we used, just to kind of intensify them a little bit more. All right, so I'm going to catch this eye up, and I will be right back. And then for the lower lash line, I am going to go in with the shade Ridge, which is this one right here. I think this is the only other matte that I haven't used. Oh, actually, and I haven't used Magma. So I'm going to go in with Ridge along the lower lash line and just kind of smudge that pretty low. And then taking a flat brush, I'm going to go in with Magma, which is definitely the darkest matte. So I've now used all 5 mattes and 3 shimmers, not bad. And I'm going to smudge this along the lower lower lash line about halfway through. Oop. And then for my inner corner, I'm going to take my MAC Aladdin highlighter, which is a pretty light gold highlight. I want to keep it with a gold theme, but there really isn't like a light enough shimmer to use as an inner corner highlight, which kind of makes me sad. That's one thing I feel like this palette is missing. I guess I could go in with Bliss, which is this one here, but it is very pink, and I don't really want to do that. So I'm just going to pop this on the inner corner and the brow bone. All right, and I will be back with liner and mascara on. So these are the eyes done. Let's move on to lips. So like I said, there are 3 lip glosses. I will put the third one that I did not get somewhere here on the screen. The 2 I got were Caramel and Tan Nude. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch these for you guys on the lips. First, I'm gonna do Tan Nude just because it is the lighter one. As you can see, it is very, very light. This is definitely lighter than I thought it was going to be. Not the best application, but this is Tan Nude. It's like a little bit lighter than my natural lip color. And there are some little kind of like pearly gold shimmers, but it's really, really faint and really hard to see. So it almost looks like just an opaque kind of lip gloss. So there is Tan Nude. Moving on to Caramel. I feel like this one is going to be the one I'm going to use a lot more. It's still opaque. And this one has some gold reflect in it. There we go. I definitely feel like this is a little bit darker than what I think would go with this look, but I do actually like this one over the tan nude. What do you guys think? This one's very, very pretty. Like I said, I think this one I'm gonna get more use out of, so really, really nice. So for the final look, I'm going to take my Il Makiage x Carly Bible lip liner in the shade Luna, which is the darker of the two that she came out with. And I'm going to use this to line all this. I did follow the man. I know it looks a little bit crazy, but I'm going to go in with Tan Nude, and I wanted to use this lip liner specifically to kind of darken it up. All right, so this is the final look. What do you guys think? I love it. I love it. Very bronzy, of course. And of course, I'm dropping things. So I'm going to zoom you guys out and give you my final thoughts. So for my overall thoughts, Natasha Denona palettes can sometimes be hit or miss, but these kind of 3 smaller palettes that she's come out with in the past, like the Love and the Sunset palette, they're all really good quality, this included. Do I think that this is an absolute must? No. There are palettes that are a little bit cheaper that kind of have a similar kind of warm color story. The only 2 colors that aren't warm are these 2 right here. Deep Dive is kind of one of those cream powder formulas, and then Rhodium as well, which is a beautiful kind of duochrome dark purpley shade. So those 2 colors are definitely unique in this palette. If you just love Natasha Denona palettes and collect them, this is definitely an amazing formula. There are no duds in this palette, in my opinion. Like I said, it's not an absolute must. I'm glad that I have it, but I definitely didn't need it. As far as the lip glosses go, again, Natasha Denona lip gloss formulas, if you are familiar with it, you will like it. If you don't like kind of that minty kind of tingly feeling, these aren't plumping, but they do have a mint kind of taste and smell. So if you don't like that, you won't like these. If you do like Natasha Denona glosses, it's the same formula, just different shades, obviously. So do I think that you need this collection? Absolutely not. There are definitely things cheaper on the market, but if you want Natasha Denona quality and you just love her shadows and you want to support her brand, then I say go for it, because I did. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and until next time. Bye guys.